Let's begin.
Hey there, scary story fanatics. Welcome back to Cleaving Thought from Bone with your host, Sociopathic. Well, the nights are getting cold, and the season of the Hunger Moon is upon us. So if you're salivating at the mouth for something horrific, I have something in store for you just might be able to sink your teeth into. A little story that I like to call Round These Parts.
It's that time of year again, when the ground gets solid with frost, the gusts of wind bring a cold bite to the skin, and the days grow shorter, lending to an extensively vast darkness that fills each night. The smaller rodents have all foraged for their winter rations, and the trees have become silent, lacking the skitter of squirrels at their branches, or chipmunks scurrying about the leaves that have fallen to their bases. The water of the creek still runs smooth and true, but even that soon will meet a morning where those waters will be as still and silent as the freshly fallen snow that covers it from sight. The forest seems to wither and shed all it does not need to survive the coldest months to come, the landscape itself retiring to a season-long slumber where the timberland sleeps until the solstice. And that sleeping brings silence. And that silence brings peace. But I know better. That silence is deceiving, at least around these parts. And those that live in and around these woods will tell you the same. At least, thems that knows better will. Too many livestock and dogs have gone missing. Too many cross-country skiers and wandering teenagers vanish, while those that heed the warning of the forest's silence tend to see the warmth of spring. There's something that thrives in the silence, something that uses it to hunt and feed its carnivorous appetite for warm flesh. Something always seeking out its next meal. Some folks hear strange noises in the night, cries like distant howls mixed with shrieks of agony. Lord knows I've heard it a time or two myself, and I don't mind saying. Best some folks just think me crazy, rather than end up as live a feed that's considered sane. But as the cold wind sets in tonight, I wrestle with a fear of tomorrow. My son knows to stay out of them woods after dark, or when the clouds of day render twilight. It likes to use the darkness, shadows, to conceal itself and madden its prey. I've been no quiet-minded soul, nor a skeptic in the matter, deemed foolish or not. He's been warned. Damn folks in town, kids at school, always offering up their explanation for thems that gone missing, filling the young boy's head full of lies and skepticism. Now, he's missing. Police say to give it 48 hours before reporting him as such, but I can't wait around that long. Rumor has it that the thing likes to keep its prey alive, someplace safe to it, so it has a steady supply of meat for its ravenous hunger. And this would also account for the lack of ever finding a single body anyone who's gone missing around here. Well, up until today. When I left this morning, the sky was still a shade of midnight purple, and the wind was gusting as hard as it ever has this time of year. The woods were as desolate as they were covered in frost and a dusting of snow. I wanted to call out for him, hoping the sound of my voice would dominate the silence and find his ear. But I feared what else may hear it in his place. I knew there wasn't much time, if any time was left at all. But I also knew it was in the best interest of us both to not so unforgivingly reveal my position. I trekked ridges and dunes of snow-covered leaves that had long since fallen in the months preceding. A thermos of now cold coffee and a few light snacks, granola and jerky, is all I brought with me. Again, I knew bringing food with me only painted a larger target on my back, one I was not willing to flaunt. I found no prints in the snow, no sign that anything had walked this woodland in a time, human or animal alike. And the deafening silence of what should be a thriving ecosystem boomed in my ear like a beating drum. It was as if silence itself was a sound. And that sound was loud. I was nearly ready to turn back and quietly tread home. It would be dark soon, and no one wants to be out here at all, but especially at night, giving up hope at ever finding my boy alive. But the moment I began considering this option, I rounded a large tree on my path, and there, at its base, in the ever-dimming light, was a set of footprints, small, made by sneakers, and moving away and deeper into the woods. Something inside me more than hoped that these were his prints. That something knew it was. So my pace quickened, and my heat of hesitation slowly began to unravel into haste. For the first time in 2 days, I found a glimmer of hope, both within myself and within these trees and bramble. But little did I know, that which truly stalked me was the cold and the desolation, unaware that I had already become consumed. A few hundred yards away, I saw a small frame, out of place, hunched over in the snow at its feet. Beside it, laid out, was another form, the second one unmoving. I drew closer, confirming my sight before I chanced a word. But it was indeed my son. I tossed hesitation completely aside, calling out to him. My heart sparked when I saw him move, slowly turning his head to look me dead in the eyes. And in that same breath, my heart sank, for those same eyes revealed desperation and struggle. "Dad?" he called out to me, almost weakly. I saw now what lay at his feet. It was the woman who had disappeared in these woods a few months back, one of those many tourists. And although frozen solid, cyanic, blank stared, and motionless, she didn't look like she had died all that long ago. My son paused and stared back at the body at his feet, struggling against some unseen force that I finally understood. The legends were true, and the cold hunger that permeates these lands has the ability to seep into those that tread here, infecting them with the same hollow, desolate, hungry indifference. It changes them, and whatever force did this compelling was manifesting within my son. He explained to me that he didn't know how he had gotten there, how this woman had gotten there, or how to get home. he hadn't even tried to find home. He tried to listen to me. He did believe my words and the tales round these parts, and understood what was happening to him was the thing us older folk warned against. He was consumed by an insatiable hunger, one he could hardly resist, and the flesh before him, done in by some other force infected by the same malicious nature, was compelling him to join it, to give in, to feast, and in that, become a prisoner of the nature of hunger itself, damned to feed without satisfaction, doomed to prowl and devour until the light of life had given way to dusk. I tried to rationalize with him, to get him to hear me, and since he had not yet fed, he eventually was able to adhere to my words. Trembling, still struggling, my boy stood to his feet and hesitantly walked in my direction. I was so happy to have found him, safe, alive, untainted. And as I hugged him tight, I found I could not let him go. In that one gesture, all joy and rapture fell away to something else. A bottomless pit of isolation, desolation, an empty, hollow, aching pit, a hunger I had never known. I smiled. I gripped him tighter. And I began to feed the beast that had welled up inside me so suddenly. Bones cracked, screams echoed, flesh snapped and spurted, its juices flowed warm down my chin. I don't know how long it took me, but when I was done and realized what had happened, all that was left of my son was a few scattered and gnawed up bones, splattered with blood and bits of stringy sinew. And I realized I felt no remorse, no sorrow, no regret, just hunger. A hunger I could no easier ignore than I could ever satisfy.
Well, everybody likes fast food, but there is no faster food than that which wears running shoes. And I sure hope you run back here again next weekend for more gore galore. And until then, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so I can catch you all again next Saturday.
Social media can be very unpredictable, especially regarding horror content. If this content gets removed, all new content will be simultaneously presented on various websites provided in the description to this video. Make sure to follow me in other digital spaces so that you never miss out on the terror. Also, if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment and hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy what's here, consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Writing is a dream of mine, and it's all of you that make that dream come true.